This is highwithoutcoke and welcome to another pathofexile video. Today I'm going to give you an update about my latest build, Frostblade's Raider. I am currently at level 99 and my build is almost complete. Upgraded my gears, gems and flask. The only thing I did not obtain yet is my boots enchant. I have done a lot of endgame contents, including bridgestones, invitations and pinnacle bosses. I have 72 million guardian DPS right now, including the damage from the returning projectiles. This is easily one of the most enjoyable builds I have ever played. This build has great mobility, awesome damage and incredible clear speed. Defense was an issue when I first hit harder contents, but I managed to fix it with multiple layers of defense, which I will explain in detail later. I discussed my gear choices in my previous video. If you are interested, you can check out the link at the description below. This is me doing regular mapping. The clear speed was good before, but it is even faster now that I have equipped Nimis. Even if you are only hitting monsters nearby, you can still clear the full screen because the returning projectiles will help you to clear the monsters further away. When you enter the map, you will only have one frenzy charge. Once you kill your first packs of monsters, you will have full charges. I enjoy mechanics like Abyss, Breach, Beyond and Legion. Basically any mechanics that doesn't require me to slow down or stop fighting so that I can maintain full charges. I find mechanics like these the most efficient when farming maps. When fighting bosses, summon your totems and activate blood range to increase your attack speed. Then you will be able to generate frenzy charges quickly. So, how does this build achieve 72 million DPS? First, this build scales a lot of attack speed with frenzy charges, onslaught, adrenaline, blood range, ancestral protector and Val haste. Second, all physical damage is converted into cold damage to take advantage of the unique helmet, Hit Shiver. With high crit chance, I am constantly chilling and freezing enemies, which allows me to gain extra damage through Hit Shiver. Nimis is expensive but I think it's worth it. It is extremely powerful against bosses. The returning projectiles make up more than 1/3 of my total damage. With the Ascendancy skill, Avatar of the Veil, I can apply elemental exposure to nearby enemies, lowering their resistances. This build only has around 4k life, but I stack a lot of defenses to make it less glass cannon. I have 100% spell suppression and 100% elemental ailment avoidance from my Ascendancy, gears and passive tree. I obtain fortification with tattoo and physical damage mitigation from body armor and taste of hate unique flask. I can generate endurance charges on kill, which allows me to use Immortal Call. A Jade Flask is not mandatory, but it is highly recommended because it will greatly increase your survivability. Should you use Nimis? Nimis and Ashes of the Stars cost me 15 and 35 divines respectively. If you don't use Nimis, I don't see the reason to use Ashes. You are better off saving your currency and using Yoke of Suffering instead. You will lose more than 25 million DPS from the returning projectiles, but the damage is still very high. And then, you can get either a rare ring with damage mods or use another Circle of Fear to compensate a little for the damage loss. So actually, you may not lose that much damage at all. The clear is going to be slightly worse, but it is still very decent. I did not use Nimis because it was mandatory. I just used it because I could afford it. For anyone that wants a budget version, I have a separate POB for Non-Nimis version at the description below, so check it out if you're interested. In terms of fun, I would rate it 9 out of 10. This build has excellent mobility. You are basically zooming and killing monsters all the time, not to mention all the explosions from Herald of Ice. You will get a great sense of satisfaction when playing this build. Damage-wise, this build has very high single target damage and melts bosses. Even if you don't use Ashes of the Stars and Nimis, this build still deals a lot of damage. Defense-wise, I would have to rate it 7 out of 10. This build is still very melee, which requires you to stay close to the enemies to deal damage. So obviously, you're going to encounter more dangerous situations than most other builds. This build cost me 140 divines in total, but you can easily cut the cost by replacing Ashes of the Stars and Nimis with something else. Also, since this is end of league, everything is more expensive. If you are looking for a build that can clear all endgame contents, there are plenty of builds out there that are much cheaper. However, if you're a sucker for melee builds, then go for it. It's very fun, and I recommend this build to anyone who didn't play Frostblades before to try it once. Alright, that's it for today's video. If you enjoy my contents, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you and see you next time.